What is up, guys? My name is Bryce Pruitt. This is the M1 Journey, and welcome to the channel. So welcome back, guys, to episode 11 of the M1 Journey. I'm back in the usual filming location, back at my college residence. Also rocking a new pink button-up for this video, so I guess that's kind of exciting. But as far as the markets go, it was kind of a neat week. We saw the Dow hit 30,000 for the first time in history. Didn't stay there long, but to even see that milestone was really cool. I can remember even after the recession in 2008 when the Dow again came back to 10,000. I just remember that, and to this short amount of time to already be at 30,000 is quite remarkable, I think, even with all things considered. With as tumultuous of a year as we've had, I mean, it's really remarkable, and I think is a testament to just how crazy our world is. But overall, though, the performance of the market was pretty flat, but that's not to be unexpected with it being a shortened trading week. Since the markets were closed completely for Thanksgiving and then closed early on Friday. But yeah, so kind of a flat week, but still really cool to see that 30,000 and look forward to 40,000. So we'll go ahead and get into some channel news and then my disclaimer. So as far as channel news this week, if you have not checked out my latest Let's Discuss video where I talked about Boeing stock, you will not know that I'm running a raffle on the channel. I'm raffling off a $25 Amazon gift card. If you'd like to know more about that, check out my Boeing video, which I'll put a link to, as well as go check out my social media pages on Instagram and Twitter, both at bpruitt_YT. If you'd like to enter, it costs you absolutely nothing. You just have to do a couple of things to help promote both my pages and my channel. I've been really impressed by the number of entries I've already received. I think I'm up to 18 total, which is far more than I would have expected. So I really appreciate all the support from you guys. But yeah, I'd love to have more entries, and so check that out. But also on my Boeing video, it is actually already my most viewed video I've put out so far. I again really appreciate all the support from you guys. It really means a lot. So hopefully we'll see what video eventually surpass it. But for this week's Let's Discuss video, I believe, unless something changes, I'm going to talk about Roth IRAs, exactly what it is and what the benefits of opening one is. I know for anyone who watches my channel that I kind of push Roth IRAs as being something to look into for anyone who wants to build a real solid nest egg for their future. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. And I guess I'll get ready to get in my disclaimer and then the portfolio update for the week. So as always, guys, I'm sure you're getting tired of me always remind you, but I always feel that it's needed, that I'm not an expert, not a financial advisor. I hope all of you do your own research and due diligence before making any investment decisions. It's really important that you guys do what you guys want to do and not so much what I or anyone else may try to tell you to do, because obviously it's hard for anybody to be experts in the stock market. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that portfolio update. Okay, guys, so not a whole lot to cover this week in the portfolio update. I didn't really have any big moves, either buying or selling. So we still were up for the week, just a little bit, even though it was a short trading week. Just a little under 0.7% all told. But for the month, we are finishing off the best week I believe I've ever had since I've been in on the markets. I was up over 11% and a little bit under $1,900. Here in this quarter over the last 3 months, we're still up over 6.68% and about $1,100. And then all time since July 2nd when I joined M1 Finance, I'm up a little over 17% and 23.38. So really, really happy still that the market rally seems to be continuing. With the Dow hitting 30,000, of course, was a big deal. But today we did see a little bit of a sell-off, nothing too major or worrisome. I think it just a little bit of buyer's fatigue set in, no real big factors I think that influenced the sell-off today. But as far as my winners and losers of the week, I seem to notice that my winners mostly seem to show up in my growth pie, which uh, is nice to see because tech has been a little bit volatile over the last month or so. But my winner of the week was in information technology with advanced micro devices. It was up a little over 8.6%, which was really kind of a breakthrough for them. They kind of had some stagnation in their share price over the last month or so, even amidst this huge rally we've seen. And my other winner of the week is another one of my tech stocks, which was Apple. Apple is up a little over 4.5%. So Apple's still trading around $120, which I still think is a good value for it. It had kind of dipped down to about $115, but we'll see kind of where Apple goes from here. So as far as some of my losers of the week, my first one, I believe, was in my consumer staples, which was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is down a little over 2%, which is not that big of a loss, really. I'd like to actually buy more Coca-Cola in the not so distant future. And then the other one was in energy, which was ExxonMobil. I had a little bit of a dip over the last week because really over the last month it's had a really huge rally from some of the lows that we'd seen. But Exxon is an interesting stock still to look at. Like I said, up almost 20% over the last month. I could consider buying more Exxon in the future, but I'm not sure if we're quite there yet. For me, I'd like some other things a little bit better at this current time. In my Roth IRA, we're still up all time, a little over 7%. The month, 7.54%. Really, all of our gains in this portfolio have all come in the last month. For the last week, we're about even with my long term, still a little bit under 0.7%. And then for the today, we were, of course, down. Didn't have any activity this week, didn't have any buys or sells, and didn't have any dividends. So not really much to report on here. But in my long-term portfolio, we did have just one dividend coming from Starbucks, which was $2.27. And then my bi-weekly deposit of $125 went entirely into Costco. Costco, I picked up about a third of a share, which puts me at a little bit over 9/10 of one share total for Costco ahead of their special dividend offering. So I would like to get the full $10, but at this point it looks like I might not quite get there unless I make another deposit. So we'll kind of look at that more in the future. So like I said, guys, not really a whole lot to touch on this week. So I thought it might be a nice opportunity to talk about some what I consider to be value stocks. With this huge market rally, I think you're seeing a lot of companies and a lot of the market overall see some over evaluation. These are companies that I like, that I think still have some growth upside at their current prices. But you guys may disagree, of course. But these are companies that I like, and I'm going to talk about four of them in particular. Three of them I do own, one I do not. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. The first one, of course, is Bank of America. I really, really like Bank of America. I like their business. I think it is a stock that is currently value wise still has a lot of growth left. It's still trying to reclaim some of these highs from February, where it's around $35 a share. It's been kind of floating around the mid 20s for the past 6, 7, 8 months. Um, I think it is worth a little bit more than this current trading price of $28. I think anything under 30 is a good value. Once you get up into the 30 to 35 range, I think some of that growth tempers down a little bit. But I think if you're looking for a solid play for the future, I think Bank of America is a good option. The next one is a favorite of mine for anyone who watches the channel, and that is Realty Income. I really, really like Realty Income. I talked about them under my stocks to buy um, after the election. I think real estate will do very well under a Biden administration. I think currently Realty Income is trading below its fair value. Again, it's another stock that has not reclaimed these highs from pre-COVID. It's again been hanging around this $55 to $65 range, and at its current trading price with this dividend yield at almost 4.6%, I think is a really, really good value stock to buy into. I think we could see this $80 upside here that we were looking at in late February, but we could still be a while from that. But I can't think of hardly any better stocks to look at or buy right now if you're looking for both safety and that monthly dividend income. So another one of my favorites that I own is Lowe's. Now, Lowe's has obviously seen a pretty big spike in their share price over the last year. As you can see, they're almost up 31%. But if you take out COVID here, where we had our drop, you could really see where there would have been probably steady growth, where these prices would have been reached even if we didn't have the pandemic. Now, obviously, Lowe's has done very well since a lot of people are staying home doing projects, but I think this growth is sustainable. I mean, its PE ratio is still pretty low, all things considered. So I'm not quite sure what to evaluate Lowe's fair value at. I think it's kind of pushing up against the ceiling of it, but even in the 52-week range, it's still $22 below that. So I think where it's at now would make it a good solid play for a long-term hold. Lowe's is definitely something I plan on holding for a long time and buying more of continually. It does not pay a very big dividend, but it's been growing steadily over the last several years. So the last company I want to talk about is one that I do not own personally, but I know a lot of people that do, and that is Cisco Systems. Cisco has had a choppy year, to say the least. Just like any other stock and company, they really, really dropped when everything shut down with the pandemic. And then they came back and really reclaimed these highs that it was had previously. But for the past couple of months, it's slipped down, even down to $35. It's been on the upswing once again, and I think it's probably here to stay. Um, I think this is probably the riskiest of the four I have talked about. It's not something I plan on buying into anytime soon, but I thought it would be prudent to talk about it since I know a lot of people like it, a lot of people invest in it, and I understand why. It's personally not one for me, but I can see the appeal that people could see where it may have $50 upside in the future. See if we look at it over the last 5 years, looks like it's up 56%. There's the graph. Um, so some choppiness here, which I don't like to see usually, but I think Cisco is a good company and probably will be just fine for the long term. But yeah, like I said, didn't really have a whole lot to cover, so I thought it might be nice to talk about some of these value companies, at least in my opinion, of course, as always. But we'll go ahead and get into some of my closing statements. So as we wind down this video, as always, use my link in the description to sign up on M1 Finance if you haven't done so already. Of course, you get your $10 when you both sign up and make your first deposit in your account. So that's a nice reward to you guys. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, enjoy my channel. I really appreciate it. And once you subscribe, you're actually already accomplishing one of the steps to enter into the raffle for the gift card that I mentioned earlier. So that's a good opportunity for you guys to get a reward from me. But yeah, my viewer question of the week is what stock or stocks do you guys think are currently overvalued in the market? I kind of talked about some of the stocks that I think are undervalued or still have value in them. But the question is about overvalued. And my answer to that will probably catch a lot of flack because I know it's one of everybody's favorite stocks that they love to talk about and love to debate, and it seems like every other YouTuber owns a ton of it, and that is Tesla. Now, I absolutely believe electric cars and electric vehicles are the way of the future. That is unquestioned. But I'm just not completely sold on Tesla as a long-term investment as it currently is priced. Now, had I gotten in it even a year ago, I would be thinking, you know, I'm a genius for getting in on Tesla, and that's great for everyone who did, but I just think at this current time, it's just a little bit above what it really should be based off their actual company numbers and their sales growth and everything. It's just not quite where I'd want it to be for where they're currently priced. But I'm sure some of those price estimates I saw last week that says Tesla will be at 1,000 again shortly, it will probably come true, and it'll probably make me look like I'm wrong, but yeah, it's okay. So, but you guys just drop your responses down in the comments if you have any, as well as any other thoughts and feelings you may have. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.